Good morning, YouTube. It is Sunday, and I'm your Saturday vlogger for ProofWLSWorks. So let me get right to it. Let's talk about vitamins, shall we? Did you take them? How often? What and why? In the very beginning, excuse me, I just woke up, so I'm like, wow. In the very beginning, I did take the vitamins. I had a lot of problems with them. They would upset my stomach a lot. I was very bad at getting in the routine of taking them all the time. I don't even remember which ones I took, to tell you the truth. I think I took a multivitamin, then I took like maybe an iron pill and this and that. And actually, I did not really find. Then again, I only took them really consistently, probably the first year, and I didn't really find they made much of a difference. When it came down the line, and I ended up having, well, this is, for me, it's more complicated than most, because in the first 3 years, I was severely over bypass, so the nutritional deficiencies, the vitamins would not have helped, because I didn't have anywhere to absorb food from. And so I could take vitamins till the cows come home, and it wouldn't have made a lick of difference. And in fact, I took a lot of iron when I was having the issues with iron, and all it did was make me have bathroom issues, and it didn't really help the iron situation at all, at all. And my surgeon used to recommend us getting a lot of nutrition from food, and the vitamins, but because of the issues with certain deficiencies that I had, such as iron, I figured out what foods were best for me to absorb that iron from. And when I had issues with the iron, I did eat a lot of stuff like liver, but I also ate stuff like clams, because clams actually have more iron in them than pretty much anything else. So, yeah. Do you consider vitamins and nutrients when you are shopping or making food decisions? Absolutely, I do. um, and this is because I do not manage my vitamin levels and intake with actual vitamin pills. I do manage it with food. You have to educate yourself highly if that's what you've decided to do. You've got to talk to your doctor about it. I would not suggest going out on your own and being like, I'm going to try and figure out this vitamin thing on my own. No. Talk to your doctor about it and make sure you get monitored, because that way, if there's a dip in anything, you can catch it. For me, the only thing that I ever really had a problem with was iron. I never had a problem with vitamin D because I eat a lot of dried mushrooms, and found out about that because I went and did my blood work a couple of years ago, and my vitamin D levels were very high. Everything was spot on, and he's like, the vitamin D I think is wrong, because I've never seen anybody have that high vitamin D, and it doesn't seem real to me. And I was like, well, what could that be from? Because I don't take the supplements and do any of that stuff. And he said, well, do you eat a lot of mushrooms? And he sort of said it facetiously. But when I went home, I did some research on the mushroom thing, because it sort of stuck, it resonated in my head. And I found out that actually if you eat dried mushrooms, particularly dried shiitakes, which they dry in the sun, and dried mushrooms in general, because most of them are sun-dried, it boosts up the vitamin D like crazy. And it is in a form that we uptake into our systems very easily. So it actually works better than any other kind of vitamin D supplementation. And it was winter, and I was eating a lot of dried mushrooms. So that's how I found out about the vitamin D. But I do think about the different nutrients, and I eat as diverse a diet as I can. I eat a lot of different bivalves for nutrients, so stuff like clams, oysters, and mussels, because they're extremely nutrient dense. I also know that certain things are good for certain things, like crab, I believe, is very good for stuff like iodine. And a lot of seafoods are very, very good for nutrient content, particularly bivalves and crustaceans. Um, and then I eat a lot of different veggies. I eat a lot of different leafy greens. I grew up in Italy and I got used to eating a lot of greens, and something that I really love. I'm a little bit odd, I would say, because ever since I was a kid, I've liked stuff like spinach, stuff that kids traditionally don't necessarily like, that has maybe a little bit of a bitter flavor to it. Was something that I grew to like. It was something I grew up on, and I really enjoy those foods. So I do eat a lot of them, and I incorporate a lot of different stuff like that into my diet. I don't eat a monochromatic diet. I eat the whole rainbow of food, all different colors. I like different varieties. I think I may have mentioned before that I grow a lot of my own food, and I grow all different types of varieties of these different foods that I eat a lot of. And so that basically covers my basis for all of nutrients. There is a high correlation between um, flavor and nutrient content. So the more complex flavors are, probably more nutrients and different minerals it has in the item. And so I do think about that a lot when I'm shopping, and even when I'm picking out different stuff to grow in my garden. Um, yeah, and that's how I manage. And my blood work is actually spot on, which is extremely rare for somebody who's a bariatric patient with a gastric bypass, who is not taking vitamins. And at how many years out? 8 years out, I'm doing very, very well with everything because of the way that I manage my vitamin intake through diet. And on top of that, not only do I get the minerals and vitamins, but I also get a lot of fiber content, which helps my whole system. And feeding your gut microbes good fiber actually helps you uptake more nutrients because they help you break your food down and put it in a way that your body can absorb it. So all around, it's been very, very good for me. And if you can find ways to manage vitamin levels through food, I do think that it is a good way to do things. But like I said, always be monitored by your doctor and make sure that you are getting the right amount of everything that you need. All right, that's it for me. See you next week. Bye.